Hey guys, so as I'm sitting here, I'm working on my planner, um, working on my budget, paying bills, planning out, different goals and things that I want to do um, for myself, for my family, for our future. And I couldn't help but think about how I get to be in this place in my life because I decided to not waver when it came to my future and my goals. And there's so many things that I haven't attained yet. I still am working on my credit. I'm still working on savings. I'm still, trying to participate in raising my sons to be, incredible young men. I'm still figuring out how to be a mommy to a young girl. But there was a point in my life when I decided to just stop trying to please other people, stop trying to just go with the flow. And people who know me know back in my 20s, that was me. I was the go with the flow type of girl. Like, I still kind of am. I really don't get frazzled about too much. If it ain't my kids, my man, or my money, I ain't really worried about it. But I stopped going with the flow when it came to my life. So I just kind of want to talk about some of the things that I did to really take hold of my life and my future so I could live my best life, honestly. And I want to say I've done videos like this before. I know y'all tired of the baby stuff. I am too. I know this is my life. And it's definitely new. It's hard. It's interesting. I feel like a first time mom, even though this is baby number 3 for me. It's just the gap has been so long. Things have changed so much since I've had Dylan. But I just want to get back to just talking to you guys and encouraging you guys and boosting you guys up. And also doing myself. When I talk to you guys, I encourage myself. There are so many times that I replay my old videos to myself, and it just really encourages me. It makes me keep going. It makes me remember why I do what I do and why I work so hard. And this isn't about views, because y'all know don't nobody watch my stuff. This is about just a passion for uplifting those oh my gosh, uplifting those people that I can't touch. I love writing and spoken word, and YouTube is just the evolution of that. So yeah, if you want to know like just some of the things that I did to quit with the bullshit for real and really get my life together and get it to a place where I feel success. Everyone's definition of success is totally different, but I feel successful in my life. And it's not about having a husband. It's not about, being here in this house, in this place. It is about knowing that I have reached goals that I have attained for myself, I don't think that's the right word. I've reached goals that I've set out for myself, and I'm still reaching goals. Oh my gosh, I'm still evolving into a woman that I'm proud of. And that is what success is for me. So if you want to know just some steps to get your life together, when it need a little help, little TLC, then just keep watching. So for me, honestly, the first thing I had to do, I promise I've talked about this before, was cut the dead weight, guys. I mean, all of it. I've had to break up with friends. I have moved to different cities. Just completely, sometimes you just gotta completely start over and give yourself a blank canvas. You gotta cut the things that are holding you down. I can't tell you what that is for you. You have to really be honest with yourself and look around and say, okay, every time I'm with this person, I just feel so much dead weight. They're always so negative. They never uplift me. Every time I tell them something that I want to do, they're always like, I don't know. Some people play devil's advocate. I play that a lot with my friends, and I tell them, after asking them, or with my husband a lot, honestly, I don't think he like it. You know, he'll tell me something and I'll play devil's advocate just to get him to look at the whole picture, because I am a whole picture type of person. But then later in the conversation or after the conversation, I will go back and be like, okay, babe, I was just playing devil's advocate. You know, this is really a good idea, but let's look at A, B, and C before we do it, you know? So that's just me. So if it's that type of person, then okay, they're actually looking out for you. But you know when someone, I ain't gonna say hating, but I want to say just really ain't checking for you, then you got to cut those ties, or maybe just distance yourself and see how it goes. You know, see if you're actually happier and feel lighter without them. Same thing goes with your career. I feel bad because some people that I work with, I know watch my videos, but the people that I'm close with and I actually talk to, they know there came a point when I was very unhappy with my job, with where I was at. Just the whole environment just no longer works for me. And instead of staying and being miserable, you know, I'm gonna have conversations with people who can make changes. And you know, now I'm going to a different place, and it wasn't going and complaining like I hate this place. You know, when they ask me why, I say, you know, I just want a different experience. I know I'll only be here for, you know, another year or two. I want a different experience while I'm here. So even though, you know, it might have negative in a negative seed where it came from, you still want to flip it and say, you know what, I do want a different experience. I do want a different outlook. So maybe if you hate your job or hate I'm not saying quit your job, y'all, but if you hate where you're at, then maybe like go to a different department or go to a different location, you know, or try to, you know, apply for a management position so that way you get a different outlook. And you can see kind of where some of the negativities come from, or some of the things that you have issues with. Start to make changes on them. Start to talk to people who are able to make changes and maybe change the environment. So don't stay in a place where you're unhappy. I'm not saying quit your job. Y'all don't text me. Don't inbox me. Don't DM me and say you quit your job. I'm not saying that. I'm saying make changes in your environment that make you happy, that make the people around you happier, that make it lighter. And then, you know, when something else comes, then yeah, deuces, you know. So another thing that for me was huge was setting goals for myself. So in my 20s, my goals honestly was to literally just be happy. I was in such a bad place. I started over. And it was like every time I would allow someone to come in my life, I had to start over. I would give so much of them to them that I had to start over every single time. Like I had nothing for myself. I would always acquire things with people. I would always, you know, let them dive so much into me and my life that it was hard to restart, you know, after. So my goal for myself was no matter who's in my life, no matter where I'm at, that mine would be mine and I would never start over again. And I know that's crazy because now I'm married, but I carried that into my marriage. And it's not saying that my husband is my partner, absolutely that he is. But, you know, I dated someone before my husband and I actually allowed them to come and they destroyed all my stuff. But everything was mine. It was me, it was my kids. I didn't have to start over. You know, I stayed in that place. I moved into a different house and it is what it is. So when I got married, I wasn't starting over. I was elevating, and that's the difference. So no, things are not mine. These are our cars. You know, this is our house. This is, you know, our couch. It doesn't matter what I brought and what he brought and what we merged together, because a marriage is an elevation. So I don't no longer have to have that mindset, but I know that I won't have to start over either. You know, we are working towards elevating our life continuously, and that's the difference. So when you're dating, I say make sure that you keep something for marriage. Keep it separate. Keep your car. You know, if you guys are in an apartment together, I'm not going to sit here and say don't live with someone before marriage, because I've done it, but it is hard. And my husband and I did not, live together before marriage. And I guess that was kind of a big difference. So we waited, we dated, we went out, we spent time together, of course, but we moved into a house that was ours when we got married. I think we signed the lease like maybe a week or two after we got married. Like, it was our home, and that's something huge for me. So for you, and all I'm saying was my goal was to have my own house, have my own car, have my own things that showed that I was independent, and that no one could take away from me. And that was huge, because I know what it's like to lose everything. So, you want to have things that are yours, things that show your status to yourself. Who cares? I had a little hoopty, but it was mine. I could get off of work and I could go, go home. I could drive wherever I wanted to. All I needed was gas. I was able to come and go as I pleased. And my house was always my sanctuary. I guess that's why I'm so crazy now, like organizing and things of that nature, because my house is my sanctuary. I love to come home and just relax and de-stress. And if you're living in a stressful environment, you need to change it. You need to move on. So have goals, have things that showcase your independence and your status to yourself, not to anyone else. So for me back then, my goals simply were to be happy, because there was so much heartache. So you have to figure out what your goals are now. My goals are different now. My goals now are to increase my credit, are to increase my savings, are to have a better quality of life. And that takes me into my next point, is quality over quantity in everything. I remember there was a time in my life, in my 20s. Oh my gosh, my 20s, guys. I'll be 33 in a couple months. Wow, it is like a couple weeks. It's like 2 months, whatever. So there was a time in my life where I had a lot of friends. Actually, there was 2 times in my life when I had a lot of friends. And the earlier time, I was in my early 20s. I love those girls. I still love those girls, or they're women now. They all have successful jobs. One has a successful business. They're mothers. They're, business owners. They're all types of things. And this is when we all started working at the bank. And we would go out after, we would go to lunches. We were all working professionals. And that was so important for me to see. And I know now, because everyone around me was so, we would let our hair down and go out and go to the club and all the other good jazz when you're 21 and 22. But we got up, we went to work, we put on our little heels and our clothes, and we made money, and everyone has elevated from there. Like, when I talk to them, when we get together, it's like, wow, I can't believe, everyone is in such an amazing place right now, because we were little girls right then. And we all have continued to work on ourselves, our goals, our families. And now we are all successful women doing totally different things, which is so cool. And we all stemmed from the same working at the bank. So, that is a good experience. And then I had a time where I wanted to go back to school. I moved back home, and I kind of linked up with people that I had kind of grown up with, kind of not. Like, some of them I grew up with heavy, some of them I didn't. And that really wasn't a good time for me. I wasn't the same as those people. They were all a lot, I'm trying to get my words. They were very churchy. And I'm not saying this to say anything bad about anyone, because there's nothing wrong with being churchy. I know people who are that way. But for me, I can live and love and serve God and still be relatable. And that is something that I take pride in. My passion for Christ and my drive and my zeal is something that I know is relatable to other people who have lived life to the fullest, i.e. do things they ain't supposed to be doing, wasn't always saved, wasn't always perfect, still ain't perfect. And it's different. So, it just wasn't the same. And I didn't ever really fit in. And I fell out of that group. I fell out of that group of people with a lot of pain. And it had nothing to do with church or Christ or anything like that. I still love those people very, very much from a distance. But it had to do with just loyalty and how I defined loyalty and how other people define loyalty. And I had to bow out of that situation. So now, and I said all that to say that you can have a lot of friends and it's still good quality. I love both sets of people in different ways. But the group of friends that I had from work that were professionals in the same profession as me, I'm not going to say anybody else isn't professional, was totally different than the social group that I had kind of merged myself into. Now, I have like 6 friends, literally. I think I just got to the place where I can count them on 2 hands. But the people that I truly let in are all totally different from me. We all have different goals. We all are at different stages in our life. But they are some of the most amazing women that I have ever known. Most of them are soldiers. I want to say maybe all of them might be soldiers, which is interesting. But we all come from different backgrounds. We're all at different levels. No, they're not all soldiers. I got friends that are not soldiers, but they're from all different places, all different backgrounds, just so solid. And it's not saying that they are perfect, as I am not, but they are loyal, and their definition of loyalty matches mine. My friends will hurt you for me, okay? They don't play. So the people that I really let in, their definition of loyalty matches mine. Their definition of hard work, is very close to what mine is. And we work together not only to grow professionally, we grow emotionally together, we grow mentally, we support each other in every aspect of life. And that is something that it's very, very hard to come by. And that's what I mean when I say quality. I'm okay with only having a handful of friends because guess what? I trust them with my life. Because as a soldier, you might have to work next to that person. You might have to fight next to that person. I trust them with my children. I trust them around my husband. And those things are what matter. They not only push me to be a good soldier, to be a good mother, to be a good friend, to be a good student, to reach my goals. Like the conversations that I have with my friends are about promotions, how we gonna get there, are about school, when you going back, are about the baby, when I'm gonna see my child, or different tips and tricks. Like I learned so much from these women that I call friends, and I am so glad that I decided that quality was way more than quantity. I'm not saying like this, no new friends. I'm saying that it evolves over time. And when someone enters your life, because I have a friend, she's been my friend for maybe less than a year, but it kind of just naturally happened. And you're like, oh shit, we friends. Like we friends. Okay. And it's interesting. But that's how it should be. Nothing's forced. Everything is very copacetic. I hope the lighting's not bad, guys, because I am using natural lighting because I'm just in the living room and I wanted to come chat with y'all. But yeah, quality over quantity, and in everything. In my clothing, when I had the baby, I didn't buy anything else. Like my body is getting back, and I haven't bought any new clothes because I have good quality clothes. And they're still my style. They still fit who I am from over a year ago when it was the last time I could wear them. So I'm happy. My car, I love my car. You know, I feel like we need a bigger one, but I'm okay with making a payment on my car instead of getting a little hoopty, because I know I can come and go as I please and nothing's going to be wrong with my car. So yeah, even makeup, like people are like, oh, you always buy makeup, and I spend a little money on makeup. Like if y'all ever want to just give me a gift, just give me a gift card to Sephora or Ulta. But the reason I do is because it's good quality. It lasts a long time. I know it's not gonna mess my face up. It's not gonna break me out. It's not gonna go bad, you know. And if anything does happen, those retailers will take it back, you know, and I can exchange and get my money back. It's good quality, you know. So quality over quantity. I could have, you know, shoes and dollar makeup and, you know, clothes that are gonna tear and break, but for what? When you have to continue to keep changing things in and out or repurchasing things. And even with friends, you got to keep going through the cycle of getting to know new people, trying to figure out if you're really down for me, you know, getting hurt by people who really shouldn't mean that much to you. So quality over quantity, which is huge. If you get good quality things, especially people in your life, if you set goals, write them down and hold yourself to it, and be honest with yourself in the beginning about where you are in life, what you want out of your life. And I'm not going to say make a path to get there, because honestly, everything that has happened in my life has, like, I did not know it was going to happen. This military thing, who knew? Who knew that I would love it and that I would be so good at it and that I would really be successful in my field? You know, this marriage thing, who knew? I was done with dating. You know, I was like, I'll go on this date. He's nice. He's cute. And, you know, a year, 2 years later, here we are, married with a baby, you know? So I say, allow yourself to be so in tune with yourself that when life starts to happen, it starts to weave in the right direction. I weigh very heavily on the decisions that I make for myself. I am so hard on myself. Like, people don't see it. It kind of probably looks like I'm really laissez-faire, but I'm not. My husband knows. We have talked about, are we going to re-enlist? Are we going to not? Are we going to retire? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? He like, bruh, whatever you decide, I'm down. But you go back and forth, and then you realize that once the decision is made, it really wasn't you. It was a higher power. And if you don't believe in a higher power, then I'm sorry. But every twist and turn of my life, you know, has come from a greater person, has come from a greater good, and it's all working together. And when things are not working together, not kind of fitting together like a puzzle piece, like you're trying to force it in, then maybe that's not the right place. But just know, this is your life. This is your life. You have the right to be unwavering. You have the right to get the things that you want out of this life. You have the right to work hard and be happy and be successful and be the best version of yourself. That doesn't matter if you're single. That doesn't matter if you're married. That doesn't matter if you have children or not. That has to do with you. No one else can be you. But you have to be honest with yourself about where you are right now and what you need to change to be happy. Or if you're happy, how you can continue to grow, how you continue to elevate. Everyone's not sad or miserable. People are in good places, you know? But you have to continue to elevate yourself. You have to continue to grow. You have to continue to, you know, be motivated and continue pushing. So hopefully this helps someone. It's been on my heart for a little while, and I really just wanted to come and chat and talk to you guys. Oh, now that someone come out. Live your best life. So I'm going to stop blabbing, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Join the community. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. We are growing. So I really do appreciate it. It's awesome. I remember I had like 400 subscribers and I was like, oh my gosh, why am I doing this YouTube thing? But I love it. It's not about money because I don't make no money. $0. It's not about likes or subscribers. It is about those times when I get messages from women and say, oh my God, I needed to hear that. Or, you know, thank you so much. I'm in the same boat. You know, those are the things that mean so much to me. You know, when I'm someplace and someone comes up to me and talks to me and I'm just like, oh my God, you watched my video. I get a little embarrassed, but it's so cool and it's so amazing to connect with people that you can't touch. So I love it and I will continue to do it. And you know, it's not about how big the platform. It's about the quality of it. So thanks guys for watching. Little mama is waking up.